Welcome to the Real Dad Fitness Podcast, where we podcast about dads who want to be really fit, I guess. Welcome. My name is PT. I am one of your hosts.
And I'm Jonathan. I'm your co-host. Welcome to Real Dad Fitness. Hopefully you all have beautiful weather. I know we do here in sunny Colorado. Summer's starting, so life's good.
Nice. We have beautiful weather here too. You don't own the beautiful weather.
We don't own it. I was starting to believe Colorado is the only place on earth that rules all the time.
I don't know. I did see the other day where you're like having snowstorms and stuff.
Yeah, that ruled. That was a great Mother's Day snowstorm. And now it's 80. It was 80 and sunny today.
Sounds pretty. Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Let me start by asking you an unorthodox question today. Let me ask you this first. So we're about breaking down stereotypes here on Real Dad Fitness, right? Am I right?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Good. I set you up and you agreed to it.
Damn it.
So here comes my unorthodox question to you. Thinking about the stereotypical view of the average guy, right? What would you say is the least stereotypically manly thing about you? You know what I mean? When you're thinking stereotypical guy, what is the?
That's an easy one about me. I don't follow any sports at all, so I take a lot of crap for that on the manly scale. I don't literally. In case for those of you that don't know me, and you can knock me down for this too. I couldn't tell you pretty much any member of any sports team. I don't know who won in the last whatever championship things. Maybe the Super Bowl. I'll catch that once a year. It might be the only sporting event I'll watch in the course of a year. So not into sports to a fairly extreme level. Sorry about that.
No worries.
But yeah.
Interesting. So let me. Do you have any guilt about this or any issues about it, or are you
not at all?
All right.
Completely fine with it.
Well, let me throw this out at you. I think you should abstain from the Super Bowl if you're gonna not be a sports guy. And here's why. I've not been a sports guy in my past, and I've gone to Super Bowl parties, and it's all cool, it's all fine. But now that I am a sports guy, there's nothing more annoying than a Super Bowl party. It's like imagine you watched Breaking Bad all season, and for the season finale, you were like, let's go to this person's house and have a party. And then half the people there didn't watch any of Breaking Bad and had no idea and wanted to chat through the whole thing. That's what a Super Bowl party is like.
Yeah, that's pretty much the definition of a Super Bowl party right there.
So I think you need to take it to the next level and not watch the Super Bowl either.
Yeah, again, I would gladly, if there weren't Super Bowl parties, I would skip it. But it's strictly because of Super Bowl parties that I do watch it. Because, I enjoy Super Bowl parties just like anybody else. But, I'll catch some of the game every once in a while. It's somewhat interesting. Or I'll just hang out with people in the kitchen and talk or, grill out or whatever. So,
right.
So I wouldn't even go so far as to say I really watch the Super Bowl. I catch some of it in the background.
Right. I actually got in a little bit of a fight with my wife about this issue one time where, I'm a huge Chicago Bears fan, and the Bears a couple of years back made it to the playoffs for the first time since I've been a fan as an adult. I was not a fan of football for a long time and became a fan. Finally, they made it to the playoffs. I was super excited. And she was like, oh, we should have a party, and invite people over to celebrate. I was like, we are so not doing that. That would,
that'd ruin it.
Yeah, that would be the worst. I get really intense during Bear games and yell at people and stuff like that. And not the nicest to be around. So.
All right. I'm gonna bring us back on task a little bit now. So I'm gonna at least flip this unorthodox question back on you. I assume we're going somewhere with this. What is the least manly thing about you then?
Well, first of all, we're definitely not going anywhere fitness related with this, but
okay.
But I would say the least manly thing about me is I was just thinking about this before we started because it's something I realized tonight, which is so my daughter today was wanted to watch something on TV. I was like, all right, what do you want to watch? She was like, I want to watch something with songs in it, some kind of musical movie. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And I was like, yeah, there's so many great musical movies. Oh man. And I started bringing them up, and I was bringing up different ones, and then I was I realized as I was bringing them up, like I've always made excuses for why I like these different musicals. Like, oh, I like The Music Man because I used to watch that with my mom when I was a kid, or I like, I like this one because we did this in high school or whatever. But tonight I'm just gonna come out and admit I just think I just like musicals. So, so there we go. I just like musicals.
Okay.
I'm out of the closet on the musical.
You've been outed. You definitely dropped a couple points on your man card for that one, dude.
That's right. So
that's all right. But hey, we're proud there, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah, that's right. We're breaking down stereotypes.
Yeah.
So again, nothing to do with fitness, but I just wanted to throw it out there to see what you'd say.
Actually,
I forgot about the sports thing because that made it a little too easy.
Right,
I was imagining you like agonizing over this question.
Nah. Well, I got that as my go-to, but other than that, I don't know. I would consider myself a pretty manly dude. You know, I'm a builder. I can build stuff, whatever. Can frame, plumb, do electrical, hunt, and go take big game down with a bow in the middle of a mountain, stuff like that. I don't know. I think I'd be. Of course, I'm pretty domesticated too, which is really the point of this whole this podcast is that we kind of lose a little edge off our manliness once you start to have kids and a wife and a job, and all of a sudden instead of hiking through mountaintops, taking down big game, you're changing diapers and you learn the difference between Boots the monkey and whatever, all the different little My Little Ponies. So that's pretty damn unmanly. I can tell you the difference between Rainbow Dust and Pinkie Pie. How about that, sir?
Oh, you mean Rainbow Dash?
Oh, Rainbow Dash. That's right. Sorry. Okay, I'm not that good at. See, I still got a little manliness left.
Yeah, that's right. I do. Man, while we're being unmanly, I do have to say that My Little Pony is one of my favorite of the kids shows. Like, it's definitely got good stories as opposed to like most of them. But all right, we'll stop that conversation.
All right, yeah, I'm actually going to try and make a little something on that to wrap it around back to fitness and manliness. I've been doing Real Dad Fitness has been good for me in a lot of ways because obviously it really makes you focus on fitness when you're trying to do fitness articles and podcasts and all that stuff. But I've also been doing tons and tons of like online research, and you inevitably see the pictures of just super ripped dudes, and like I would certainly consider myself to be in really good shape, and I think I'm happy with my body and stuff like that. But the more I look at like all this online crap of just like images of dudes that are, it's their profession to look like that. Either they're professional trainers or they're fitness models or all that stuff. And it started like for a little bit there. I was like, especially like after watching Generation Iron, and then I was looking up all kinds of articles on muscle building and stuff like that. And I started to be like, man, I really need to like hit the gym. I need to make this. I need to work harder. I'm totally not like fit enough. I'm not big enough. And then I kind of took a step back and was like, yeah, I'm plenty good for, that. Those are great ways to be if you want to dedicate your life to that. And I certainly do not. I think most guys don't. Most people don't. I mean, you can look like super crazy ripped and be a big bulky dude, but you're gonna have to sacrifice tons of stuff with your family and tons of just elements of your life. You gotta really devote yourself to it. So anyway, I guess just as far as the manliness goes, you can look at all those guys, but blow it off, and it's okay to watch My Little Ponies with your daughters, and even if you enjoy musicals, we'll still let you keep your dad card here and keep your fitness level to a reasonable, healthy level that lets you enjoy the rest of your life. So now it's all been tied together.
You bring up an interesting point because so like I play a little guitar myself, and I know some much better guitar players than me, and pretty much anyone who plays guitar or I'm at the bottom end of that scale, but anyone who's on the guitar, pretty good at guitar, is going to take any opportunity. Like if there's a guitar sitting there, they're going to be like, yes, this is my chance to show off my guitar skills that I've spent many, many hours practicing, and they'll pick up the guitar and start playing. So I'm wondering if like there's really like super, super ripped guys, like what's their equivalent of that? Is it like this is a potential opportunity to take off my shirt? Or is it like, oh, there's a car that gets broken down. That totally needs to be pushed. I can totally push that car so fast, and everyone would be super impressed. There's got to be like any time that there's if you work for hours every single day on being strong and buff as possible. You've got to like be ready to show that off at any moment.
No, I think you're right in a sense because like especially as guys, you take pride in what you do, especially if you do it well. You know what I mean? And that goes for anything. If you're a framer and you frame a house and you build some like awesome trusses or whatever, and you put some cool stuff in there, and you really took pride in your work, and it's awesome. Like guys will take pictures of that, they will show it off, they will be, and no one cares. It's frame work, I mean, most people don't, but you're just so proud of it. And physical fitness is certainly no exception, where you work really hard at it, especially if you're at a high fitness level. You put in a ton of time and effort into it, and there's a huge element of pride. So I think like one stupid way that guys, just like the guy that picks up the guitar at like whatever opportunity you can get to nail it, is guys will try to dress to show off that they're bigger, stronger, muscular guys or whatever. Like you'll see occasionally like a guy that wears a shirt like 2 or 3 sizes too tight or whatever, that is obviously worked out or whatever, which whatever. I guess I shouldn't knock anybody because it is, you're doing show something off or whatever. And, I don't know. I guess that, and maybe talk about it. I don't know what else you do as a guy. I don't think you don't get a lot of like opportunities to super show off physical fitness.
Right.
But
Interesting.
I don't know.
All right. Well, I got. I don't know if you had a topic ready, but I've got a couple articles that we can jump to, or if you have something else you want to talk about, we can go there.
No, shoot some out. I got some, but go for it.
All right. I'll start us out with one. Let me find one here. Oh, here's one that I was thinking about. This, I don't know if this is a good really conversation starter, but it's apropos to you because you this week posted a nice article on RealDadFitness.com, which you can get to on the internet by typing that thing I just said into the address bar. A great article about the first 2 weeks of the Whole Life Challenge, and along with that, you posted a nice like before and after picture of yourself before and after those 2 weeks. So here's a word of warning for you. This came to us from the New York Daily News, was posted today actually. Fitness blogger says company stole her before and after pictures from her blog to promote a diet supplement. And the story goes on to say that she, has a blog. She posted some before and after pictures. She was perusing the internet and found those very same pictures used in an ad for a diet supplement. So first of all, I guess don't trust the before and after pictures of diet supplement ads. But second of all, I guess you just gave the diet companies something. I don't think yours were quite dramatic enough to.
No, I think mine were, because that was one thing I did. I actually debated, because if you go online, you see that article. I did take the quintessential lame-o selfie in the mirror picture. And I took one just before we started. Actually, I think it was the day after I started the Whole Life Challenge, and I took one 2 weeks into it. And granted, and I tried to take the pictures in the exact same manner. I took them standing in the same spot in the same room, with the same lighting, because I wanted them to be true. They're certainly not photoshopped. And like you said, you can't tell a whole lot of difference. I can actually tell more, I think, in real life. But there was, a difference. But it was only 2 weeks. You know what I mean? So it's a real difference. So
right.
So anyway, I just want to say that. And I'll also say that any photo, as far as I know and will ever know, that ever gets posted on our website, I want no photoshopping whatsoever. Not even like a whatever lens filter thing. Nothing. I just want, especially if you're doing like a fitness photo, you know what I mean, a real one. So they're real photos. And I did want to have a progression. Like I was thinking 1 every 2 weeks. One every week seems like kind of pointless because there's no change your body's going to have that's going to be very noticeable in a week. Anyway, so I decided to throw that on there for Real Dad Fitness. I also did. I'll be really pissed if somebody uses them for a supplement, because I'm about to. One of my things today is actually ripping on supplements, essentially. So hopefully they don't use my before and after pictures on some supplement thing.
Nice. That'd be cool if they could pull a little pull quote too from your rant against supplements and
right, use that.
Yeah, to take out the knot or something and do a little dot
right.
dot dot. Right. Supplements are ... awesome. Interesting. All right, let me ask you in a related, just real small question here. I got to find this article quick here. So this article comes to us from the Washington Post. So basically, this article is talking about how I'm not reading it verbatim because it's taking forever to pull up, but oh, here it is. Okay, so privacy advocates warn of nightmare scenario as tech giants implement fitness tracking. So basically, it's talking about like how all the fitness trackers that are on the markets, from everything from your Nike Plus to your various other standalone kind of devices that they have. Kind of the point of the article is there's not really any legal protection that we have. There's not really any laws in place against companies like selling that information, like linking it to us and then selling that information to help advertisers, target advertising towards us and all that stuff. So, so privacy advocates, which I did not know was an actual job till now, is they're very concerned about this. But what's your stance on the privacy? Are you concerned that giant corporations might have your fitness information?
No, I'm certainly not concerned about it. I guess I never even thought about it, but now that apparently that's on the table, no, I don't care. If they really, really, really want to, I mean, what are they going to do with it other than possibly, if they're like, oh, that guy runs 400 miles a summer, they're going to be like, oh, just pitch him running shoes. Right. And then I can, I guess that's annoying because I got to click, close on one more pop-up, but I mean, other than that, I could probably live with that. It's not exactly going to cramp my style too much. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I know a lot of people are really freakish, freaked out by Big Brother and, like, people tracking your stuff. But in the end, it's just they're just trying to make a buck. They're trying to target advertise you. And, I guess I would rather get fitness ads than, sports memorabilia ads because
right. Yeah, it's totally an issue where I'm very like torn on it because so I watched this Morgan Spurlock, who did that Super Size Me movie. He's got a TV show on CNN now. It's called Inside Man, and he did an episode a couple weeks ago that I saw that was basically about like how easy it is to find out information about specific people. So and as an example, he had like this intern come in basically for an interview, and he said like, I'm going to try to find out everything I possibly can about you in the next 24 hours or whatever. And like he hired a guy who does this, and like he found like an insane amount of info about this guy. Like he knew everything about the guy. Like it was crazy. Like, and even like tracked his location throughout the night. He like used like security cameras. They like figured out tracked his location and all that stuff. It was pretty crazy. And when I was watching it, I was like, this is pretty scary. And that was like the whole point of the thing is they're like, yeah, you should be super scared that all this info's out there. But then afterwards, I was like, I guess it's kind of it's interesting that they could find out other stuff about me, but I'm really not that interesting. And like,
right. I think only people that really, really need to worry about that are people that are doing something illegal, or other than that, you got to have a giant ego to think out of the 350 million Americans walking around, somebody's tracking your stuff, other than like Target and Google, who are just trying to pitch you ads. I mean, right. That's my take on it. I really don't see a big difference between tracking, pulling stuff off your fitness trackers, and your just Google searches or whatever. It's all just silly information that's going to go into a big statistical pool, and some, mathematical model is going to shoot out what your, target purchases are going to be.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's one of those things where like I'm theoretically against it, like I'm for privacy and everything like that, but then when you get specific about it, I'm like, well, like even when that thing was going down about the NSA is listening to our phone calls, I was like, well, I guess they can listen to me talk to Jonathan about Game of Thrones if they want to.
Right. Yeah, are they? Yeah, are they gonna? That'd be great if they're listening to our podcast right now. That'd be a couple extra listeners.
All right, I have one final article, and this one will actually like go into a little bit of a topic, I think. Quick here.
Okay, that'd be nice if
it. So this article is from Huffington Post. Is talking about how social it's called How Social is Redefining Fitness: The Rise of Fitness Tribes. And it's basically the whole point of it is just it's more effective if you have some sort of a support system involved with your fitness. And the one stat they point to is that speaking of stats from fitness trackers, MyFitnessPal users who have 10 or more friends on the app lose an average of 4 times as much weight compared to those who have less than 10 friends on the app. So kind of interesting, but I thought it was kind of applicable to us since we've been doing the Whole Life Fitness Challenge or the Whole Life Challenge and all that stuff, and having a team. So I was curious about your thoughts on how does the social aspect of fitness affect you?
Well, I think I might be the exception to the rule. I think the social aspect of fitness is something I don't need at all. But I only say that because right now I'm doing the Whole Life Challenge with you guys, which is great, and I really like it. But typically through my whole life, I rarely have joined a gym, and if I do join a gym, I go there by myself on my own time. I get in, I get my workout, I get out. It's not like a social place for me. Right now, I'm not even a gym member anywhere. I run on the road by myself, and I have a weight bench and weights and all that stuff in my basement. So for whatever reason, I'm just not. It doesn't matter to me. I don't think I need it at all. But I do see how good it is overall, and I think it's really good for most people to have some kind of a support network, especially if you're in the beginning of your fitness life or journey or whatever you want to call it, because there's a lot of questions. I mean, I have a lot of questions still, but at least I have a really firm baseline, and most of the stuff I learn now is stuff that says what you learned before was wrong, and this is the new theory and science behind it or whatever, blah blah blah. But at least I got a basis and a baseline, and even if I never find out any of that stuff's wrong, it still works most all the stuff I do. So I don't need that as much. But I think most people really need an accountability too. You'll always, in my mind, if you start working out, it kind of sucks in the beginning. It's hard and difficult, and you don't know exactly what you're doing and how to get good results. And eventually you get better at it, and you do see results over time. And so eventually working out is really fun, and it's something that you like to do. And this is the case for almost anyone that sticks with it for a while. It becomes part of your routine. It's something you have a lot of control over, and you can see direct results and success from. But to get to that point, I think it's really helpful to have a lot of support, and a lot of people that are sharing your pain. When if you worked out, some people go work out for 3 months really hard, and they don't, and their goal might be lose weight, and they don't lose any weight. And I'm sure they're more fit and healthy at the end of those 3 months, but they're like, what the hell? I did this to lose weight. I didn't lose weight. And they want to throw in the towel, and you need someone there to say, hey, let's figure out what you're doing wrong. A little support, a little encouragement. So I can see that. I can see where that, having more friends and more of a support team, plus more accountability. The easiest thing to do is, if you stop for 2 days, it's really easy to stop for 3, and then it's even easier to stop for 4, and so on and so forth. And if you have a bunch of friends that you like, and your communication system with them is in a fitness setting, you're gonna go back to go see them and see that fitness setting. Sorry, I got work phone calls going on. My apologies to all our listeners, but anyhow, yeah, it's I think a great thing to have that support team and friendship that are all working towards a single goal.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. First of all, I didn't think I would like the social aspect at all of the Whole Life Challenge, but I have liked it. It's one of those weird things too, where it's maybe I'm just a jerk, I don't know, but it's one of those things where you I'm rooting for my teammates, but also rooting against my teammates. You know what I mean? I totally want you all to do well, but also if I logged in and saw you lost a point or a point behind me, it wouldn't break my heart either.
Right.
So it's kind of weird, but it's it's almost like I don't know. The only thing I can think to compare it to is a sibling kind of thing, where you want your sibling to do good, but you're kind of competitive with them too.
No, yeah, you're totally right, and I like the there's that gamification, the competitive aspect of whole life challenge or whatever. Where yeah, I totally want to win, not just for our team, but all overall. You know what I mean? Even
Right.
and and so, but on the other hand, I totally like every day, like I'll read, or most every day I read everybody else's little like daily thoughts or whatever you call them, and I'm always like, I'm rooting for them. I try and like throw in some encouragement to everybody, anybody that seems like they need it, and totally do want everybody to do well. But I just want to do a little bit better.
Right. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So you brought up. You want to talk about supplements a little bit?
Yeah, yeah. One thing, darn it, I watched some of a documentary the other day, and I didn't write down the name of it. It was something that just like I caught a piece of, and it was actually like the whole thing was about steroid use. It was a cool documentary, and I'll have to find the name of it to push it next time. But anyway,
Is it that bigger, stronger, faster?
maybe
Is
yeah,
it that
maybe it
one?
was Bigger Stronger. It's about three brothers.
Yeah, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, Bigger Stronger Faster, and that's it. And in one part of it, that and without touching on the steroids too much or anything, but like one part of it, he goes out and legally makes a supplement, which is hilarious because he just gets like flour and then just like he does get like whey protein and a couple other things, and literally pays some illegal immigrants to like sit and put them into these little caplets, and then he puts 60 of the caplets in a bottle, and he you know sells it or whatever. I don't think he actually ends up selling it, but he puts
Sure.
like a crazy label on it and all that stuff. And it's total crap. I mean, like obviously he's like, yeah, this is total crap. And he's like, and on the label it says proprietary blend. It's a supplement. It's not food. It's not regulated by the FDA. So this is total crap. It costs him $1 to make each bottle of 60 pills or whatever, and he's selling them. He's like, I sell these for $60 a piece.
Nice.
And I mean, I would like to hope that I'm sure that some supplements out there are made by people that are trying to make an actual working supplement that helps you perform better and stronger. I mean, I think there's things like whey protein isolates that are they do that. They add protein to your diet and amino acids that your body needs to rebuild. But there are a ton of supplements out there that are just bunk. You know what I mean? Just crap that you're putting in your body to a large degree. In fact, probably hurting your body. If you believe in a whole food, healthy, balanced diet, they're totally horrible for you. Um, and the other thing is, you like most people listening to this right now don't need any supplements at all, in my opinion. If you are pushing yourself to the point where you have plateaued and you can't get any more gains and you are extremely fit and you work very diligently, then supplements might help you. Uh, but for most people, and most supplements, you're just totally throwing away your money. Like if you the only one that I can say is maybe not a total waste is if you want to find some kind of protein shake to supplement, your diet, which is basically just powdered protein. And they make vegan ones, they make soy, they make whey, all those different ones. You can do research; they're all a little bit different. Um, and they help you, but so would eating an extra chicken breast or whatever. I mean, granted, it's more convenient than doing that, so that one you can kind of throw in, and it will help you. The rest of it is really, I think a lot of it is just total crap. But anyhow, like, and for a gut check, a reality check on this, speaking of like plateaus, so if you, and I looked this up, this is according to Alan Argan, who's a sports medicine doctor guy that stays on top of everything. Basically, and there's a couple other people that have written these charts about how much muscle can I gain. So especially all you dads out there, almost every guy wants to. Nobody wants to be a super skinny marathon runner. We all want to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger to some degree or another. But if you want to bulk up, you plateau essentially really quickly. Like your first year so if you haven't done anything, the good news is your first year you're going to have your absolute most gains, your most benefit. Your body will respond really well. So that first year you can gain between like 1 and 1.5% of your total mass in muscle per month. So you're
Nice.
talking, you can gain like 22 pounds of muscle in a year. there's a lot more factors than just being your first year. Most people, the first year, you're also very young. That plays into it. And this is 22 pounds of muscle if you are a dedicated, gym rat. If you try and bodybuild, you're eating a very clean diet. You're doing everything right. That's not just like a typical, I'm going to work out every once in a while and gain 22 pounds my first year. That's like you hit it hard and you're going for it. And year number 2, that basically cuts in half. You're gaining between 0.5% and 1%, so basically about 11 pounds, about half. And that's after 1 year. You're essentially, you're down to half of what you could gain that second year. After that, once you get into an advanced level where your body's conditioned and in shape, you're gaining like, 0.25 to 0.5%, 0.25% to 0.5% per month. So about 6 pounds a year roughly, 6 to 10 pounds, and that's kind of what really puts it in check. If you gain 10 pounds of muscle in a year, that's like what a professional bodybuilder will gain. If you're doing it naturally, you can through steroids and things gain more than that. But if you're incredibly genetically gifted, a very 0.1% of the population could probably do better. But for most everybody, that's if you're eating super clean, you're working out the best you absolutely can, and you're doing everything right, you're gaining 10 pounds a year, or less. And it doesn't matter if you take a crap load of supplements. I mean, if you take a crap load of supplements, you're going to gain about 10 pounds a year. If you do a really, really clean, good, natural diet and are just as diligent like that, you're going to gain 10 pounds a year. So those supplements are, you want them because you don't want to gain 10 pounds a year. I mean, 10 pounds in a year is really, really slow. That's a lot of dedication and hard work to gain 10 pounds of muscle. And we all don't want that. I want to gain, I personally, if I could just, pop some supplements and be up 10 pounds next month and be like, oh my gosh, I got all bulked up, awesome. It would be great, but it doesn't work like that. And, and plus you probably don't need it as a regular dude. It's nice to look good, but take the patient route. Gain those 5 pounds of muscle a year, or whatever your goal is. If you're losing weight, that's even easier without supplements. You don't need that crap. So that's my rant on supplements. Basically, especially if you're gonna lose weight, just eat clean and throw some cardio in. But mostly, it's all about the diet on that, eating clean and appropriate portions. Supplements, especially diet loss supplements, are gonna raise your blood pressure. They're basically stimulants. They're pretty much all around terrible for you. So you don't need that crap.
Yeah, man, I've seen Requiem for a Dream. I'm not.
That's it. Yeah, your refrigerator comes alive and stuff, and then you chop your arm off. It's terrible. You don't want supplements.
It's kind of call back to last week. Last week I was talking about that bodybuilding in prison article.
Yeah.
They kind of talked about that a little bit in that, about how like some guys in prison will literally spend 100% of their money on like getting crazy supplements or whatever, and they talked a little bit in that article about how like the diet in prison is put together by a professional nutritionist and basically has everything he needs. So those guys are basically spending all their money for really expensive pee, because they're just peeing out all the extra nutrients that their body doesn't need anyway. So
yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
No supplements.
So that's it.
Did you happen to see the part in that documentary where they did the before and after pictures?
Yeah, that was hilarious, and that was one of the things where I pointed out, like, any picture that ever goes on our website will not have any photoshopping made. And actually, I would really like to do a piece on before and after photos at some point, and just show what a difference, standing in a different spot in a room makes. You know what I mean? Like, and on the flip side of that, like, it's a shame before and after pictures can be rigged so much, and it's what Tyler was referring to in that documentary, is that the dude just like literally goes to a professional photographer, they take one picture, they change the lighting around, take another picture, they Photoshop that picture on top of like better lighting and poses and all that stuff, and anyway, it looks like, a huge difference when really it was the same dude taken 20 minutes apart. But like there's programs like P90X and substitute in any workout program, Insanities, all that stuff, all those online things. And really, those are great programs. There's basically none of them that are bad. They all get you moving. They're all new exercise routines. They're all burning lots of calories. And, if you stick with them for however long, the programs will last, you'll see results and you'll be healthier at the end, and that's really the point. So programs like that, all those like certain time period programs, just don't go in expecting too much, like you're going to be the dude on TV. 'Cause you're probably not, but you will see some results. And even if you don't see that much of results, because you might not, you can get those awesome 90-day difference before after photos, but it's not just doing an exercise routine. It's doing an exercise routine. It's changing, again, what you eat, how you live your life, how much sleep you get, all that stuff. If you do all that stuff perfectly for 90 days, you'll have a real, true before and after picture that looks great, and you'll have great changes and all that. But also don't get hung up because you can just BS a before and after picture. So that's my before and after picture thoughts.
Cool, good deal. Hey, so every week we're doing for the Whole Life Challenge a different lifestyle challenge. Any predictions? What's coming next, do you think, for the lifestyle? So far we've done water, we've done meditation. This week we're doing like positive thoughts, kind of writing down positive thoughts. What's coming next? I'm thinking sleep has to be one of them, right?
Oh, dang, yeah, that's absolutely. There's going to be an 8-hour sleep thing, which will be a tough one.
Yeah.
Sure. That's
I don't
tough
have to go to bed early.
Right. You have to just put everything aside and go to sleep.
Nice. Well, sorry to ask you a question and then answer it.
That's, you jerk. I know. I don't have another one. That's the one that I had going on.
Sweet. All right. Any other topics for tonight, or should we wrap up? We're almost at time.
Yeah, I think I'm good wrapping up point.
All right. So a couple programming notes. So next week there'll be no podcast. So I'm going to be traveling unless you get a guest in here or something like that. Hey, if you like watching me on video, and who wouldn't, I made an awesome, did an hour-long Q&A about my book, Regulation 19. You can check out at pthilton.com. And I'll have special tip for Real Dad Fitness listeners. Regulation 19, the Kindle version, is 99 cents this week only. Currently number 54 on the contemporary fantasy bestseller charts of Amazon right now. So there you go. You can get yourself a best-selling novel today.
All right. I'll take 3.
All right. Go for it. That's Regulation 19. And by the way, if you do want to take 3, you can buy them as gifts. You can just email them. You can just put someone's email address in there and click buy as a gift. Awesome. Other than that, come to RealDadFitness.com. We've been doing the Whole Life Challenge videos. We've been doing. Jonathan wrote a nice article this week about the week 1 or 2 review for the Whole Life Challenge. I did an article, So You Hate to Eat Healthy, about eating healthy. Lots of stuff going on. So I guess that will do it for now. Anything else?
I was just going to say I got a nutrition article coming up that I'm halfway done with. I was going to try and finish it on Sunday, but we'll be pushing that out this week too. It's about the perfect diet.
Sweet.
So if anybody wants to know what the perfect diet for you is, you'll have to read that article on Real Dad Fitness this week.
All right. Good job. Way to tease them.
That's it.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us this week. Thank you for listening. Subscribe, download us, rate us in iTunes. And in the meantime, this is PT. I got to run.
Stay real, stay fit, dads.